Hey guys, this is Eliza with RMK Reactions. Today I'm going to be listening to Violent Femmes Blister in the Sun. I already relate to this a lot because I am a violent femme and I do in fact blister in the sun. I actually have a sunburn right now. You can't tell because I'm wearing a jacket, but whew, it hurts. Apparently these guys are a folk punk band. I have a suspicion that this will either be greatly disagreeable to my sensibilities, or I'm going to enjoy it a lot. Not sure yet. Let's see. Alright, we've got a little amoeba. Little amoeba instruments. This is actually delightfully animated. And terrifying.
When I'm out walking, I strut my stuff, and I'm so strung out. I'm high as a kite, I just might stop to check you out. Let me go on, like I blister in the sun. Let me go on, big hands, I know you're the one. Body and beats, I stain my sheets, I don't even...
Okay, I'm kind of two minds about this. I think maybe I would prefer this as an instrumental because the punk folk instruments actually the two genres blend really well in that way. I think a lot of folk music has just like absolute mastery of their instrument, and you just get these like incredibly tight grooves, like these incredibly controlled melodies and rhythms that, like, I don't know, folk is an underrated genre. But I've maybe mentioned this before. Sometimes I find punk vocals a bit disagreeable upon my ear. I do like a whiny voice. I think I've mentioned that as well. And I do even like, but I don't know. It's like a slightly different type. I like a whiny, lazy, drawling kind of voice. And the kind of whiny that you hear in punk vocals is sometimes more of a I don't know, like kind of childish sounding. It gives like that. This isn't a direct roast at these guys. I'm just saying with like the genre in general. Sometimes it will remind me of like the kind of guy who you just really dread having pick up the phone when you call a customer service line. Not to sound like a Karen. Do you know what I mean? They're like, gosh, mom, you're so annoying. What? And you're like, oh, okay. Let's all take a breather here. Again, I'm not saying this guy has like the most extreme version of that, but I'm just like detecting a note of that in the vocal delivery, and it's just not my favorite sort of sound.
I know why. My girlfriend, she's at the end, she is starting to cry. Let me go on, like I blister in the sun. Let me go on, big hands, I know you're the one.
And there is something oddly charming about it, though, I must say. That head. I want to say it sounds like they have an upright bass. I'm not 100% sure, but like based on the illustrations and just what I'm hearing, you have more of those like folk, like maybe there's a mandolin in there somewhere. I'm not sure. That is just a very satisfying sound upon my ear. I enjoy the bounciness of like the singing. I'm still having like the voice is maybe growing on me a bit, but as I said, it does have a little bit of that like emo-ish punk kind of delivery that sometimes, if I'm not in the right headspace for it, can grate on my patience just a tiny bit.
When I'm out walking, I strut my stuff, and I'm so strung out. I'm high as a kite, I just might stop.
Okay. The whisper delivery, though. Like, he's definitely self-aware.
I'm high as a kite, I just might stop to check you out. Body beats, I stain my sheets.
Ew.
I don't even know why. My girlfriend, she's at the end. She is starting to cry when I'm walking. I'm stuck again. I'm so strung out. I'm high as a kite. I just might stop to check you out. Let me.
Okay, before the chorus swells, I'm sorry, but I keep finding myself like very oddly like oscillating wildly between like disgust and admiration. That's maybe like a bit too strong sounding for it, but it's like, I don't know. There's parts of this that are so cheeky that I'm just like, okay, I've got to hand it to you. But then there's moments where I'm just like, oh, stain my sheets, ew.
Go on, like I blister in the sun. Let me go on. Big hands, I know you're the one.
I think if I saw this live, I would have a lot of fun. Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, I really didn't like that. Sounded probably like harsh what I was saying about like the emo voice kind of delivery, but like I do think everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say that. You know, you get the classic Blink 182 like "Say it all, I go," and I was like, I remember the first time I heard like that song specifically, and I was like, what is going on here? Like, you can't sing like that. And now I kind of love that song. Like it's something where like the first time you hear it, it's a bit abrasive, but then it kind of sticks with you. And I even found that happening like during this song where I'm like, oh no, he sings emo. But then it's just like so intensely leans into it that at a certain point you're like, okay, I gotta admire, you know, the sort of cheekiness that we got going on here. He's sort of like acting as he sings, like almost like hyperventilating into the vocal delivery. And I just can't help but imagine that I'm like, you know, at a tiny outside venue and the band's right there. And it's like, I don't know, my friends playing in it. And like my friends are all standing watching them. And we're like, whoa, yeah. And like dancing and grooving and getting into it. So yeah, that being said, I think it's grown on me. I think if I were to listen to this song a few more times and like some of their other music, it would grow on me more. All right, well, this was very fun, and I am excited to see you guys next time because I am always ravenous to put more music into my ear holes. So until then, I'll see you.